Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Today is Thursday. Every time I get to Thursday, I'm like, it's the day before I got to go back to work. Because, I'm just preparing myself, preparing my mind, and that is what is on my mind. Trying to get everything I need to get done in my day before I go back to work tomorrow. So my husband and I was having a discussion, and we kind of weren't seeing eye to eye on something. Then we came back around, and he listened to what I was saying, and we both came to understanding that, what I was saying was right. I'm not always right. Sometimes I'm wrong, and sometimes he's right, and sometimes neither one of us are right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about being right. It's about doing the right thing in the moment, and growing and listening and learning from each other. So after it was all said and done, I still was a little irritated, and I'm sitting here talking to myself, and I'm working things out in my own mind. And it's weird because you would think if you're talking to yourself that you would be on your own side, like, yeah, da, da, da. But God literally will use that time to really minister to me through my own lips. And I'll be like, well, yeah, So, it's really good that we check our heart posture. We make sure that we're listening to God, because he's always talking to us, through somebody else, something. And it's okay, even in that moment when, yeah, I may be right. I can do things better. I can go about things differently. And I'm trying to remember exactly, Lord, give it to me how you were giving it to me. That's what he was saying to me, y'all. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Basically, when I was frustrated, y'all, and I was in that moment of frustration, and still after, everything was done, something wanted me to talk to myself. Starting out at first, something wanted me to say the negative, and say negative things, and the Holy Spirit was like, I want you to reverse everything you're about to say. It was quick. Now it didn't come across that way. It just was so instantaneous. So before I even could say anything, he came into my mind and my heart and was like, I want you to reverse all those words, the things that you were going to say, and I want you to reverse them. And I started reversing it out, and I'm saying this stuff out loud, and I'm speaking all these amazing things about my husband, and just amazing things. And at first my spirit wanted me to be resistant to it and stubborn and not say it because I was angry and I was upset. But it felt so good in the end to say the amazing things and to affirm positivity, to affirm all the good things over my husband and not speak negative, even if I'm just speaking to God, because God is like, no, I put y'all two together. I put you and him both together. You're mine, he is mine, and I want you to speak nothing but goodness over his life. I want you to pray over him. I want you to be that intercessor that I have called you to be over your husband. Do not use these moments. Do not use this time to speak poorly of him, to speak bad of him, even when you're upset. If you can't say anything, close your mouth. Don't say anything. And that's what God was really dealing with me about this morning. And I just thought I would record. I got a quiet time, a quiet moment. And if that's you, and you have times and moments, because we all do. None of us are perfect. I don't care if you see people smiling every time you see them, and it's nothing but all you see is the good things. There are moments behind closed doors where people have disagreements, where they have arguments, where they clash. It is normal. But it's what you do in those moments to grow and to really work through and not stay stagnant and stuck in an area where God is trying to grow you up. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God that I have a willingness and I have an open heart, and I am always listening and wanting to grow. It's important that we never stop growing and wanting to grow. We have never arrived. God is trying to do something in you, through you. And if you think that you've made it, then he can't really continue on the process of getting you to where he wants to get you to go to. We have to always be open and listen and take heed to the Spirit and the calling of the Holy Spirit. He is constantly talking. He's constantly around if you are open. I know that to be true. I was having a conversation with my sister the other day, and she was saying that she experienced something that she had never experienced before. And that just goes to show, that it's all about what you are open to. And I feel like, now she's in a place where her heart is just so open and is so willing. It's just about being open and having your heart in a open postured state to the Lord, And I thank God because he shows himself. He shows what he can do, in those relationships, in your finances, and your physical. and everything, on your job. If you're willing to listen and learn and say, you know what, I could do that better. I could do that better. I could change my words. I could change my thinking. I could change my perspective. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to give somebody that encouragement, and just to, speak to somebody this morning and say it's okay to listen. It's okay to be open to the possibility of not always being right. Because even when I thought this morning, I was right about that, I still was wrong when I was going to fix my lips to say something negative, about my husband. God is like, no. And I'm just being honest, because again, I'm not perfect. And it's times where I have said things like, and they're not, horrible things, but it shouldn't be said. And it's those times when the enemy is, he's laughing. He's getting a laugh, and he's like, yep. He wants that. He wants to divide. He wants to pull apart. He can't stand marriage. So it's like, this is the time that I'm going to say, no, I'm going to build my husband up. Even when he can't see me, even when he doesn't know, I'm going to build him up. I'm going to pray over him. I'm going to love on him, because he's loved on me. And, God put us together, and it's for me to have his back at all costs. When the devil comes in and he's trying to steal and trying to kill and trying to destroy, that's when we have to pray. That's when we have to intercede. That's when we have to get stronger. So that's all I'm going to say. Everything is going good. All is well. It wasn't, I really am not here to convince anybody of anything when it comes to my marriage. I'm just here to relay and try to be an encouragement as to sometimes we need to watch and listen and hear God before we speak on anybody. It's not just a marriage thing. It could be anybody at work, a co-worker, a friend, a sister, whatever. It's good that we really take our time and we listen and we wait, and we're not quick to always speak. That's all I wanted to say, y'all, this morning. I'm going to get in here to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Be blessed. Yeah.